Coming up next on the Classic Cartoon Network for Sega Genesis.
So here we are playing classic cartoon games on the Sega Genesis. And we are playing the Smurfs. And right here you have to select your language. And we're going to select United Kingdom for English. And we have a Smurf introduction right here. It actually looks pretty cool. Look at that. Yeah, that was a very short introduction. Now we have the title screen. And it looks just like the actual Smurf cartoon itself, the title screen. Look at that. And we have another little introduction right here is Act 1, which is basically level number 1, the village. And I'm 30 years old, so back in, let's say, the late 80s, early 90s, we had Flintstones, Smurfs, and Nickelodeon just started coming out with a lot of cool 90s cartoons. Well, back then I would say Captain Planet, Rocky and Bullwinkle, and a lot of classic cartoons that previously came out in like the 70s and 60s, like Scooby-Doo. Those are great cartoons. So when the Sega Genesis came out, one of the main things about the Sega Genesis is that it can actually take a cartoon and make it come to life. This actually looks like the real cartoon. Look at that. Bam, pop out right out in the chimney. That's actually pretty awesome. So when the 16-bit consoles came out, especially the Sega Genesis, it was a pretty big thing that you can actually have Mickey Mouse being animated on your console, or games like this, the Smurf. It was definitely a dream come true, because you can actually play a video game and it looks just like the real thing. Now, as far as the game goes, whether it's good or bad, I would say, I don't know. I actually think I did play this game before. I probably reviewed it at one point. You are not able to be hit by that little sandbag, so you can actually walk through the other Smurf, but you can't touch the sandbag. They actually pop up out of the chimney right here. I think the first time I actually played this game, I did not have the patience to actually play this game whatsoever, and I never even really gave it a chance. But second opinion on the game is actually not exactly that bad of a platformer. It's a little bit slow, but at least it's straightforward and not over the place, because I hate platformers that have multi-level crap where you can't figure it out. So this is pretty much straightforward. You just walk through the door right here. Time out. Okay, looks like I have a little bit of a time limit, which I did not pay attention to.
Coming up next on the Classic Cartoon Network for Sega Genesis.
The Flintstones for the Sega Genesis. This is another, actually it came out in the Mega Drive. This is another European-only game as far as I understand. I don't think this released in the United States. This little demonstration, the computer actually playing the game right here, of how the graphics look. Once again, this definitely does demonstrate the power of the Sega Genesis. It gives you pretty close to a realistic look of what the actual cartoon looks like. I mean, look at that. It looks really nice. Now, I would imagine that the reason why Sega came out with Sega CD was because the Sega Genesis already had the graphics to bring actually cartoon games to life. They just couldn't add the actual voice into the game. Well, the Sega CD could. So, they actually solved that problem. Unfortunately, it wasn't the most popular thing in the world and people did not understand it, but yeah, you can actually take a game like this and add voice to it, and it actually gave you like the whole damn cartoon. That's actually pretty cool. If you hold down, you can actually, your head goes right down into your body like that. I remember seeing that in the cartoon. It's actually pretty cool. So this game feels a little bit more polished in comparison to the Smurf game, but nonetheless, the game actually is pretty good. It's not that bad at all. This game, the animation on it, actually brings the cartoon definitely to life on the Sega Genesis. I mean, look at this. So the developers did a pretty good job. It looks like the real thing. I'll say if you were a fan of the Flintstones and you had a Sega Genesis back then, you'd probably be pretty happy with this. Okay, so that's basically what you have to do. You have to hit these snakes. Wow, that is so difficult trying to get up on that, oh man. Let's forget about it. That's actually very challenging.
Coming up next on the Classic Cartoon Network for Sega Genesis.
And then we have this game right here. Another classic cartoon. It is Rocky and Bullwinkle. Definitely a classic. And we have the introduction right here. It's pretty much going through all this animation, and look at this. Rocky and Bullwinkle, look at that. So before the game starts, you have a little bit of a storyline introduction, much like the Flintstones. Alright, so I guess in this game you actually have mini games you can actually play, or you can actually play the main game itself. We'll try the main game out. And check out the animation on that. The power of the Sega Genesis. That's one of the main advantages of the Sega Genesis when it first came out. I remember before the Genesis came out, they actually had videos of it on some computer TV show. Pretty much demonstrating that the Sega Genesis can actually bring cartoons to life on that console because of how good it is. The game does appear to be subpar compared to other video games that depict cartoons on the Sega Genesis. There's something that looks a little weird about this game. Look at this, you can actually climb up the mountain. What the hell is that? You ever see a moose do that before? That bird just shit at me! There's not too many games where you can actually experience being crapped on by a bird, but yeah, this is one of them right here. Where exactly do you find a moose? You find them probably up in Maine, I would imagine, in the United States. I'm not sure if there's any moose anywhere else in the world. Maybe Russia, I don't know. But you let me know. Have you ever seen a moose climb up a mountain like this? Look at that. That thing tried to crap on me again. There's a blackbird. And the higher elevation you go, the more crazier things get. This thing's gonna try to shit on me, and it missed, thank God. And now we're at the top of the mountain. Alright. Yeah, what the hell is that a nest? What the hell? You can't shoot that way though, which kind of sucks. You can do that. I'm not sure what the hell that is, but we'll save that for another topic. There. What the hell is all this? Man. That looks like it does not even belong in the game whatsoever. Where the hell did that come from? So we'll try one of the mini games right here. We'll try this one. I'm not sure what the hell this is, but it looks interesting. It looks like I'm riding a donkey. And I can either jump up in the air or duck down, and you have to jump over obstacles. That's actually pretty cool. I'm not exactly sure what year this came out, probably 93 or something like that, but I must say it's actually fun to play. I'll admit it, it's actually pretty fun. Let's try this game out. And I do recognize these characters from the Rocky Bullwinkle cartoon. I used to watch it. Let's go check this out. So this appears to be like a boss of some sort, and I just got my ass fired big time. Yeah, I think the animation or the graphics that are subpar for the most part. They're not the greatest compared to the other games, but the game's actually fun.
Coming up next on the Classic Cartoon Network for Sega Genesis.
Here we are playing Captain Planet and the Planeteers. Check that out. Captain Planet, got the title screen right there. And there's Captain Planet himself, and got the Planeteers right there on the bottom. It's definitely an awesome cartoon back in the day. Yeah, this appears to be a little demonstration of the actual game itself. You have rats running around the, it's like they're inside a sewer for some reason. And there's like liquid shit coming out of that little tube right there. Let's start the game. This was a famous cartoon that was on TBS. Before you actually start the game, you actually have what appears to be a series of enemies that you can choose to battle first. I mean, assuming that this is similar to like Mega Man, you have to choose what boss you want to battle. So let's choose this guy right here. It's giving you a whole rundown on that particular character. You're stuck inside of a sewer with cockroaches and rats, things like that. What the hell? Whoa, what was that? Was that a rat or a cat? Okay, so it looks like the sewer is actually being filled up with shit. Or whatever the hell that green nuclear looking crap is. It looks like something that you do not want to accidentally catch in your mouth because you might die. That does not make any sense whatsoever. You're just, I mean, you can easily just jump right here and walk across. Yeah, this is almost like that stupid Wings World game where the platformer is like over the damn place, and I have no idea what the hell I'm doing right there, but this game is already getting on my bad side. Oh my god, it's like one of those games you have to take a guess on where the hell you're supposed to go. I feel like turning the game off, because it's one of those platformers that is like, it's all over the damn place, and I like platformers that are just straightforward. Especially on 16-bit consoles, because it makes no sense to have a platformer that you have to try to guess on where you're supposed to go. And this is one of them right here. Like, I am completely lost. I don't know where the hell I am. The only thing I know is I'm in what appears to be a sewer filled with all kinds of shit and rats and everything else. I mean, ain't that ridiculous? You can't even freaking kill yourself in the game. You're like 30,000 leagues underneath the sewer filled with liquid shit and you're still alive. I mean, what the hell? Finally! Alright. Well, that's the end of that game. Wait a minute. Does that say Duke Nukems? What the hell is that? Is there Duke Nukems in this game? What the hell? Okay, so this is not the end of this game. Let's check this out. Alright, so apparently this is Duke Nukem's level. Alright, let's check this out. Now I'm a little bit more interested. So this is a completely different level. Again, this is almost like Mega Man in a certain extent, where you can actually choose different series of levels to play until you meet up with the boss, I would imagine. And this is actual Duke Nukem's level right here. So you can actually battle against Duke Nukem. Ain't that something? Yeah, it's time to kick ass and chew bubblegum. I must say this level is a little bit better than the last one. The last one was pretty shitty. But still, I really don't know where the hell I'm going. But you know, back then games had manuals and that actually helped you out a little bit. You can actually try to figure out halfway of what you're supposed to be doing, and you know, that's the way things were back then. But I don't have the manual for this game, so there's really no way of telling. So just for the hell of it, let's try out the other characters right here. Hoggish Greedily Undersea Oil Rig. Yeah, I hate this. It's pretty much similar to the sewer level, but with just slightly different graphics. And there's actually one more enemy that we have to choose, which pick it and get it done and over with. What the hell is this? It's gotta jump around and get shocked by lightning. I mean, what the hell? This seems like each freaking level in this game is like designed to screw you over. You have enemies coming from both directions. I mean, this looks like a freaking mess. I mean, look at this. It's just a jump from platform to end. Jumping is, I guess it's alright, but it's just clunky at the same time. It's not that good. Oh, look how quick you die.
Coming up next on the Classic Cartoon Network for Sega Genesis.
So we need to get away from Captain Planet. We need to wash the taste out of our mouth. We're going to play Garfield game. Caught in the Act. Let's check this out. You can see this game came out in 1995, and there's the title screen right there. Definitely looks very promising. This appears to be a little demonstration of how the game looks, and the animation looks fantastic on that game. Look at that. And check that out. Yeah, this game definitely looks really nice. Look at that. Even the introduction on the Sega Genesis, when you first turn it on and you have the Sega logo, I've always been a fan of how each Sega Genesis game had its own customized introduction. And Garfield was another very classic cartoon back in the day. It's definitely one of my favorites. Let's check this out and see how we play this. Supposed to jump on the spring, and I'm gonna say already this game's 100 times better than Captain Planet. Actually has a little bit of logic to it. And the graphics are actually really nice on this. Out of all the games I played so far today, this is probably the most well polished cartoon game so far. Hey, look at this. It looks really good. And this was supposedly developed directly from Sega, so they actually put all their efforts into this game. Look at this. I mean, you can tell that Sega went all out on this game. Every little aspect of the actual character itself, there's tons of animation on that character. If you walk to the edge of this little stone right here, he looks like he's losing his balance. If you stand still, look at this. He's looking back and forth, trying to figure out what to do. See right here that he's almost losing his balance, but not quite. There's actually a separate animation for that. That's actually pretty crazy. Alright, let's see if I can get somewhere in this game, because I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. You can see my character just died right there, and the animations, look at that. This is probably one of the best animated games on the Genesis, I would say. I've never seen a game animated so well before. This is nice. And we're gonna head back up here. This game is actually pretty damn good so far. I've never actually taken the chance of actually playing this game, but the graphics for here look amazing. Look at that. It looks like we have Odie up there, and he's trying to mess me up. So the difficulty on the game is not exactly easy, but this is a game that anyone can pick up and enjoy playing because it just looks really nice. This is probably the best looking cartoon game I've ever seen on Genesis.